Are you looking to burn a pound of body fat per week? Stick with me for a couple minutes. I'll show you how easy it actually is. I get asked quite often, Rob, how do I lose a pound of body fat and make sure that I'm not cannibalizing the muscle tissue that I've built over the last 6 months? And this is a great question because a lot of times when people talk about losing weight, they don't differentiate between are we cannibalizing muscle, dehydrating you, or actually losing the wanted body fat. If you were to Google or you ask ChatGPT how many calories make up a pound of fat, they're going to say it's around 3,500 calories. Now, I want you to stop and think about this over the course of 7 days. Your goal is to burn a net calorie of 500 every day for 7 days in a row. But here's the part that so many people have a tendency to screw up. They get sold this bill of goods that it's about net calories. Nothing could be further from the truth. When we're looking at burning 500 calories, you need to remember that you want to burn 500 calories of fat. This is something that most people don't understand, and unfortunately a lot of trainers and a lot of quote-unquote nutrition programs out there, they don't want to tell you this. When you exercise, your body's either going to source its calories from stored fat or from stored sugar. If you're watching this video wanting to lose a pound of body fat per week, make sure that you're leveraging stored body fat. Well, how do we do that? It's very simple. If you look in the description box below, you'll have access to one of my heart rate spreadsheets. For you to be able to leverage stored body fat, you need to be training in heart rate zone 2 and below. And this is where I have a tendency to get into some online debates with people because they say, nope, you've got to get the heart rate up so therefore you can burn more total calories. It's not true. The total calorie burn rate is going to go up as you bring the heart rate up, yes. But I want you to remember, where are your calories coming from? Stored fat or stored sugar, also known as glycogen? You've come to me and you say, Rob, I want to lose a pound of fat. Okay, well then make sure you use fat for fuel. How do I make sure that you're doing that? Keep your heart rate low. That's step number 1, using the heart rate spreadsheet. Step number 2 is, because you're wearing a Garmin heart rate monitor, it provides for you a calorie burn rate, both active and resting. You can look at this on a daily basis, you can look at it on a weekly, you can look at it on a 4-week basis. So the beautiful part about this is it eliminates the guesswork as to how many calories do I burn on a daily basis. Every single person is unique based on muscle mass, body weight, height. You've got all kinds of variables. What kind of stress are you under on a daily basis? What do you do for a living? Is it physical? All of these elements factor into the idea that we need to know what your unique calorie needs are on a daily basis. So once we get that number, let's just say for conversation's sake, it's 2,000 calories. Well, this is where the math starts to work to your advantage very, very quickly. If we continue with the idea that you need 2,000 calories, we want to make sure that between what you're burning and what you're taking in adds up to 500 calories. If you need to rewind that a little bit, please do so. We want to make sure that you're burning 500 calories every day. So there's a couple ways that you can do it. You can exercise and burn an extra 500 calories, and when you do it at a low heart rate, you leverage stored body fat. You could burn 250 calories, and then you could cut your calorie intake back by 250. If you cut the calories back too far, it will actually backfire on you because the body will start to go into preservation mode. So we've always erred on the side of caution. Keep the exercise at a low intensity. Make sure that the calorie gap is pretty minimal, 250 to 300 calories at the most. And now look at the magical number. You have a net loss of 500 calories or a net burn of 500 calories per day. You can either look at it as you burned it or you just didn't take quite as much in. This is where the Garmin becomes your best friend, because not only do you get an accurate calorie burn rate that's specific to you, as you start exercising and you start manipulating the calories a little bit, you're able to go over and look at your stress score. If you keep all variables as constant as you possibly can, as the stress level starts to go up, you know that that's whatever adjustments you're making isn't working. Maybe you're working out and it's extremely hot. The temperature of the gym that you're working out, or maybe you're outside, that high temperature is actually putting more duress on the body. Now it becomes counterproductive. How many people, either yourself or how many people do you know, actually felt worse when they started exercising? That should never happen. You should always feel better after you're done exercising. The only time that workouts and the exercises are going to be uncomfortable is when they go too hard, too long, or you're doing it in an environment that's too hot or too cold. We literally need to create an environment where the body can thrive. If you're in the gym trying to get strong, make sure that you're comfortable enough to focus on the workload that you're there to do. If you're there to do cardio, make sure that you're not focusing on the temperature of the room, you're focusing on the workout duration and the intensity. The third element that I want you to pay attention to, believe it or not, requires no sweat equity at all. It actually requires sleep. If you have followed me for any period of time, you know I'm a big advocate of looking at the quality and the quantity of sleep. And again, this is where Garmin hits the ball out of the park. Your goal is to try to get a minimum of 8 hours of sleep. And I know I don't live in a glass house either. You need to make it a priority. It's that important that you need to move other things around to make sure that you get 8 hours of sleep, preferably more if you can do it. Now with the beauty of Garmin and its sleep data, we get to look at the quantity of sleep and we get to break it down into the quality of sleep. Our goal with all of our clients is to try to get a minimum of 2 hours of deep sleep with less than 10 minutes of wake time. And the reason for that is because when you're in deep sleep, that's where your body is releasing the recovery hormones, human growth hormone, and testosterone. The longer the period of time that you're asleep, your body gets a chance to rejuvenate itself structurally, bones, ligaments, tendons, muscles. Everything when you wake up in the morning is physically stronger. Now, here's the cool part about tying all this together. If you want to lose a pound a week, make sure that you're keeping the heart rate low enough so that you leverage stored body fat. Make sure that you're eating a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, and lean protein. We say the more colorful the plate, the more nutritious it is. The reason why we want to stay very on point with the color of your plate is each one of those colors actually represents different micronutrients. So your immune system is going to be stronger because your plate is diversified. You'll have tremendous amounts of energy because those different colors represents micronutrients that are catalysts for energy. Vitamins and minerals are catalysts for energy to burn macronutrients, carbs, protein, and fat. Now, if you've been doing this for 6 to 8 weeks and you don't see your clothes fitting a little bit looser, this would be a great time for you to go and get your blood work done. I own a company called Complete Med Solutions, and what we're trying to do here is make sure that we don't have any kind of hormonal imbalances. We want to make sure that we don't have any gut infections. We want to make sure that the body is absorbing the food that you're actually eating. We want to make sure that we don't have any mold or other issues going on in the body. But once we check all those boxes, you have to keep in mind, at the end of the day, when you burn 500 calories and you know that they're all coming from stored fat, you will systematically drop 1 pound of body fat per week, and you're on your fast track to being leaner than you've ever been. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. And the reason why I ask you to do that is we put out a video every day here on YouTube. All of these videos that we put out are answering your questions. The number of questions that have come in week over week continue to exponentially grow, and we're going to continue to put out more videos answering your questions. If you happen to have a question, please don't hesitate to send it to me. Contact@coachrob.com. And I hope you enjoy these next 2 videos.